Yo, I think this is the most dressed up you've been for the program.
Well, you know,
I mean, you're wearing a collared shirt.
I'm a gentleman.
Wearing a collared shirt.
I know you gave me some shit about my wardrobe on the show, and you know some of my decisions. Cause, you know, I look real comfortable here at home.
Hey,
but you know, today I decided to dress up.
Business casual. I like it.
Meaning I had a round of golf beforehand.
A business meeting on
the golf course,
yes.
And then proceeded to just come home and set up and get ready to record the show.
And then we get to work.
So I really didn't have time to change, really.
I like it. I like it, man.
I like it. Miami Golf Bros. Go follow.
Subscribe. Forget about follow. Go subscribe right now to the YouTube channel.
Instagram and YouTube. Follow,
Let's
subscribe.
Go, man.
Both. Let's go. Road to 500.
We're on the way there, and we're on the way to our 500 subscriber as well on YouTube. So make sure to go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, especially on our latest video, OnlyFans, where we discuss the Dolphins' 5th loss in a row. Shout out to Martin.
Yeah, Martin's back.
He's back.
One time for Martin.
Go listen. Facts. And you know what? He has some very interesting takes, right?
It's good, man. I like having Martin on. He's been busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man.
And he just hasn't been able to get on because he's been traveling. He went to a game out in L.A. and stuff. And he just hasn't been able to get on. But we were able to link up yesterday. And it felt good to have the boys back together.
No, we needed it. We needed it because you need to be able to like lean on somebody during these hard times. And the Dolphins find themselves in some really hard times, bro. They lose their 5th game in a row. Take a ugly loss to a bad Patriots team up in New England, 23-21. And the score may seem like it was a close game, right? But if you're a Dolphins fan, you know that you didn't feel confident of us having a shot to win this game realistically. And
we did, man. We almost did. We break the whole thing down on OnlyFans. Go ahead and check that out. But we did at the end. We did have a chance, and then Teddy Bridgewater just handed the game over to the Patriots. Unfortunately, I can't. It sucks to put the blame on him, but it's like when you look at the whole game in its entirety, and you see that we have a chance, and then we give up a pick 6.
Yeah,
like you take away those 6 points. How many points did our defense give up?
Yeah. For sure.
You got to give them a little bit of credit, even though we were real thin. We were missing a lot of guys.
Correct.
We were missing, Brad Chubb, missing Xavier Howard.
But to be fair, they were missing key guys too, right? And what we were expecting is to see the Dolphins take advantage of that and say, yeah, we're missing guys, they're missing guys, but we're still the better team. Right.
Who were they missing exactly? I don't want to challenge you. I don't mean to.
They were missing a safety and 2 linemen, an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. Their name escaped me because I don't pay attention to like that. But I know that they had some key guys out because in the pregame I'm listening to it and I'm like, all right, they're losing. They have guys out in certain spots. We have guys out in certain spots that are kind of key. Let's see who has the better team. Which quarterback can play better, make the least mistakes. And bro, it's weird to say that Mac Jones outplayed Teddy Bridgewater.
Is it though?
Yeah, because we expected. Hold on. Because we expected Teddy B to come in here this season and be serviceable, and he's been below average, not even serviceable. So yeah, Mac Jones is serviceable because he goes out there and he can stand up and throw the ball and complete some passes. This dude can't.
Teddy hasn't been great. He hasn't been great. I'm not here to defend Teddy Bridgewater because going into this game, I was very adamant that I didn't think we had a shot, frankly, going into Foxborough against this New England Patriot team that has had their own issues this year.
Right. Because
of the fact that Teddy was the quarterback. The small sample size that we have of Teddy, playing this year was not very good.
Nope.
And so we weren't confident when Tua, was in concussion protocol, and now we have him to start. Martin made a point on OnlyFans. He would have rather seen Skylar Thompson taking the full week. That's a coaching decision above our pay grade. We're only fans that comment on this stuff, but it's easy to say that now. Hey, go with the rookie instead because Teddy hasn't shown us anything. But you think too, hey, Teddy's been in these situations before. He's a veteran. He's taken the all the snaps. You know what I mean? He knows all the plays. He looked good for the first half of that game. I got to give him a little bit of credit here.
Right.
It's just the worst play that he looked the worst on was the one where he gave away the game and got hurt. Well, all in the same play. It's kind of misfortunate.
He also had a couple of really bad throws, or at least decisions where he threw the ball. Right. We talked about
the McCourty throw where McCourty missed that interception,
and it was like, man, that's a blatant miss where you're like, he's not out there. Throw the ball outside at least. No, you're throwing it dead in the middle of the field.
It just could have been a miscommunication.
I get it, but again, Teddy B knows better. Skyler makes that mistake. I'm like, all right, you're learning, Skyler. You got away with one. Teddy B makes that mistake, and I'm like, bro, really? Like, you're better than that, dude. You know? And you know what? And I only say that to say that we would burn Tua if the same thing happened to him.
100%. But
Right?
Tua's
So
our starting
then-
quarterback.
I get it, but we still got to keep it consistent because we knew that Teddy B was brought in to be serviceable, dog. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think that he's been serviceable this year. We would have won at least one game with Teddy B coming in. You would have figured that at least, right? He's got some action, some off the bench, some starting. Nothing with that guy.
Yeah,
and it's not on him, but still.
It's not, but if he doesn't throw the pick six,
we win this game.
It potentially be a different story.
Sanders missed a field goal, right?
There you go. That's a good point.
That's another point another 3 points that we
Jason Sanders
that we 50, left out
was
there.
it 50 or 49 yards? Somewhere in that range.
Matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
for me, it doesn't matter.
In those conditions in Foxborough, you gotta take that into account.
Come on, bro.
That's not easy for everybody to make, and he's not a big leg guy.
I get it. I get it. But what about when he was banging all those field goals last year? You get what I'm saying? And the year before, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is not the year to fail. And that's another guy who's been subpar. And we've left a lot of points out there. We've lost games because of this shit. The stuff that we're going to look back on, like you and I spoken about, like we're going to look back on later on as the season ends and be like, yo, for real? We seriously underachieved with this team. Still did better than a lot of the teams that we've had in the past. But that's not saying a lot if this is the best team we've had in 15 years. A team that went from 8-3 to 8-8. Barely finding a way to get into the playoffs. We win, we're going to have the same record from last year, 9-8. Only difference is that we made the playoffs, but we choked our way into the playoffs. We didn't triumphantly walk in.
We didn't cement ourselves
into
the playoff contention category.
And again,
we haven't yet. Frankly, we lose next week and we're out.
Yeah, for sure. And not to say that we're on their level, but look at these teams, right? You got Kansas City heading into the playoffs strong as hell. Buffalo heading into the playoffs strong as hell. Hell, Cincinnati heading into the playoffs strong as hell.
Speaking of which, they're both playing each other right now. I got to look into that.
Check that score real quick.
There's fantasy football implications. And for all of you fantasy footballers out there, congrats to all you champions out there.
Correct.
Tonight's game might be the deciding factor. And to all the Sackles out there, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
And look, man. Look what you got back there, buddy.
Oh, what's this?
This? Just nothing.
This whole thing?
This whole thing.
This is just a little trophy I won.
It's nothing, nothing big.
This time tomorrow it'll be officially mine. But yeah, it was a hard fought season, and I deserve this. I deserve this.
You know, this Dolphins team, dog, for real. When we look back, Jay, we're gonna be so upset with how everything turned out. Win, lose, or draw. And not to say that the whole season is a loss or it's a wash or we're going to look down on everything that was positive this year. No, we're not. But this has that same feeling of same old Dolphins choking on themselves, can't get right in December, regardless of who's at quarterback, regardless who's at wide receiver, playing defense. There's plenty of stuff to look at on this team and be like, yeah, I don't know how we went from Super Bowl contender to barely in here. Because there were people talking Super Bowl. Remember that shit?
I was one of those people.
And I was like, let's pump those brakes.
Then let me defend my people. I got to defend my people.
Defend your people, dog.
Because, and this is going to be short because we got to go on and kind of discuss the remainder of the game, if not the preview for next week, our final game.
Let's do that.
But, man, number one, we have had health issues. We've had some health issues on the offensive side of the ball with Teron Armstead first getting hurt, missing a game, or then coming back. Now, obviously, most recently, Tua being out. And then also, on top of that, the biggest thing for me is just the schedule, man. You look at these losses. Let's look at these losses from beginning to end, right?
Bring them up.
All right, what are the first one?
The first one was to the 49ers, the beginning of the West Coast trip.
Who won this week and are right now one of the best teams in football.
But let's keep it in context. Had a shot in the fourth quarter to win the game, threw up on ourselves. Next.
Against the number one team in football right now.
Number one defense.
Arguably.
Defense.
They should have bet yesterday.
Defense.
Still won the game. No, the defense didn't do that great.
I'm just saying, they're the number one defense.
The offense did enough to carry that defense yesterday, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did.
All right. Next game after that was the Los Angeles Chargers, who right now are in the playoff.
Ahead of us because we choked, and we had that game too.
That was another close game. After that, we go into Buffalo.
Have that game too. Fourth quarter shows up, 8-point lead.
Super Bowl favorite. These are all above 500 playoff potential winning teams.
You guys know what he's getting at, right?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Next game after that,
We lose to the Packers, 26-20.
Surging Aaron Rodgers team who 3 weeks ago had a 1% chance of making the playoffs, beats us, and now they have a real good shot at making the playoffs.
At home, dog. We lost to a Packers team at home.
They're
with again another chance to win the game.
They're at 500. Another one of my
and
points.
We threw it away.
Gave it away, but they're at 500. Another good team.
And then we have this game against the Patriots, which we're on. They're trash, right? Because we know that they're trash, but we throw away the game and they win.
Division opponent in a tough environment on the road.
Get out of here. Dog, I get it.
I can look for excuses for all of them, but you are absolutely 100% right. The Dolphins have choked in all 5 of these games, they could have won. Were all these games decided by 1 possession or less?
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at it right now. Absolutely.
So and that's going to be Dolphins throw up on themselves. That's going to be our title for this episode,
especially for the second half of the season. You know what I mean? Like again, it went into shambles, and there's so many things to point at to say this is why. You know, and before we move on to the preview of the Jets, this is just going to cause a lot of questions, like I said earlier. And now we're going to even look at that draft class of 20 when we drafted Tua. Right? I think it was 19 or the draft class of 19?
Yeah, this is his 3rd year now. So
4th year. So 18 or whatever, right? Now we have questions with Tua. We drafted Igbanami, who sucks.
Hasn't pounded out great.
And the offensive lineman barely played a down this year. His name escapes me. Not little. Whatever. That's another dude that we drafted that year. 3rd guy, not playing for us. I don't know, man. Somebody's going to have to look at this team and say what the hell is needed to get better, because anything that we had that we thought we were good at, we're not good at. And that included the quarterback position, right? That included the defensive back position, and that also included the linebacker position. We're not good there. And even the offensive line. Because we lose our main guy and everything else goes to shit. And look, and that's only the 2nd game that Armstead has missed this year, right? So for everybody who was like, oh, he's not durable, the dude played a lot this year and he did his thing, you know? What more could you ask for this guy? But the Dolphins still have fate in their hands somehow, some way, right? We got a chance to make the playoffs and win this game against the Jets at home, right? Who are coming off a loss. They're 7-9. They just got eliminated by the homie Geno Smith up in Seattle.
They wrote them off.
Yeah, and now they're looking to write us off. And this is one of those games that you were saying, just like the Patriots, AFC East opponent, teams that you
throw at home.
That shit doesn't matter anymore, dog. It shouldn't.
Nah, but I'm a little more optimistic this time.
But for real, if you had $1,000 to bet, Joel, would you bet on the Dolphins, dog?
Yeah, I guess the Jets.
No. Fandom aside,
yes. No,
to cover the spread.
It's the Jets, bro.
To cover the spread.
What's the spread?
It's 4.5.
Now we're talking
4.5.
Maybe not to cover the spread, but money line, I'm betting the Dolphins. So $1,000 straight up. So
then this is my point. That just shows you that game is going to be pretty much close and even.
Sure.
Right? Because even if
but that's how division games are. Look at the Ravens and Steelers on Sunday night. Did you watch that game?
I did.
Dogfight, bro.
It was. But then again, the defense for the Steelers made plays. Find a way to take the ball away, come up with sacks in timely manners. Our defense doesn't do that. So I don't feel confident in them turning up against the Jets, because the Jets are going to find a way to make this game dirty. And the Jets know that on offense, we're not going to be able to move the ball. So it's going to be a brick wall trying to move a brick wall for fucking 3 hours. You know what I mean? I'm not confident heading into this game. Nothing that would point to as history, momentum, anything, quarterback confidence, anything that you can point, nothing that you can point at to say, yeah, I'm super confident in this game. You might be confident because you say, hey, I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm always going to be confident, and we're playing at home. But that's the only thing you're holding on to as a Dolphins fan for most people.
Yeah, that sums it up.
That's about it, right? If this game is won by the Dolphins, dog, we're going to need 3 things, all right? We're going to need the defense to pitch a shutout, either in the first or second half. We're going to need a shutout in one of the halves, all right? We're going to need 0 turnovers by the offense. That means interceptions, fumbles, you name it, right? 0 turnovers. And number 3, we're going to have less penalties than the Jets.
That's a big one, man. That's a big one that gets easily overlooked.
Because we have so many backups playing. What was that play that Martin pointed, or that you pointed out, the Keon crossing where he was just dove into the receiver? Those type of dumbass penalties that kill us and kill drives. If we can eliminate those three things, then I would feel confident about this Jets game. But I can't say that right now. Not today, Monday, because even listening to Mike McDaniel speak at the press conference, he wasn't sure who's going to play quarterback. And I'm sure part of it is like the strategy to keep the Jets kind of guessing. But at the same time, I'm sure he's doubting who's going to be starting for him. Whether it's going to be Bridgewater with those fractured fingers or dislocated fingers that they're calling, or is it going to be Skyler? Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm not feeling confident. 17-14.
I think it's going to be.
That's my pick.
I think it's going to be Skyler. I think they're going to have to play him.
Got to, right?
But yeah, I agree, man. Going into it with Teddy, I didn't feel great. And it's, if I'm going off the same logic, as far as the sample size, the regular season Skylar Thompson sample size hasn't been fantastic either. So it's like I can't feel great, with the rookie going in there.
True.
Over Teddy. That's also probably what went into the decision to start Teddy this past week instead of the rookie, But now I think, hey, if he can't grab the ball, he can't grip the ball, and you're on the quarterback, that's your number one job. You know what I mean? Is to grip it and grip it. Then I don't feel confident with Teddy under center. So I'd rather give Skyler the chance, even though he had his own issue the last time he started. He had an injury that forced him out of the game early in the game too. So that's just a problem, man. Like we haven't been able to have anybody just kind of start and finish the game either for us, So it's just been a lot of injuries. But this game, you said 17-14 Dolphins. I'm going to go 19-15.
I like it.
It's going to be a weird one, bro. It's going to be like 5 field goals from the Jets. We're going to have a few ourselves.
It feels like it's going to be a weird game, Joel, because we've seen these playoff type games at the end of the season against these AFC East opponents, where there's the Bills last year where they mopped us up. We'll replay the Patriots to get either knocked into the playoffs or knocked out of the playoffs, the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, history has shown that this is going to be a tough game. It ain't going to be no cakewalk, dog. And the fact that we're at home doesn't make it any easier. But because now there's even more pressure on the team to deliver in front of the home fans. You do not want to go out like that after the season you guys had. You do not want to go out like that, man. Let's see, bro. It's going to be a hard road. But if they're capable and they can get some help, they might just make the playoffs, back their way into it, bro, which would suck.
Yeah, but better to be in the playoffs back then there than not in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Let's flip on over to a team that's surging a little bit, improving little by little, right? That's our Miami Heat, who have done pretty good so far on this West Coast trip. They lost their first game against the Nuggets, which was a really close game.
Really close.
124 to 119.
Good Denver Nuggets team.
Real good Denver Nuggets team.
You got to mention that. They got, MVP and Jokic.
Number one in the West Nuggets. You know what I mean?
With what's his face too, Murray.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray is such a baller, dog. That guy's such a baller, man. But for us, we had a really great game by some guys that we weren't really expecting. I felt like Highsmith played a really good game defensively. Really bothered Jokic. As much as he could. Jokic still did his thing, right? He ended up with 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and 19 points. You can't stop that guy. You can only hope to contain him, right? Like they used to say. But Bam actually balled out, bro, and Tyler Herro continued to show why he is in that, or should be in that upper echelon, or he is, forget about should be, he is in that upper echelon of guards right now, man. It's just that he's not getting that notoriety because the Heat aren't winning as many games as we could be. But, he balled that night, man. 9 of 18, 4 of 9 from three-point land. I also had 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, this dude really does bring it all to the table, except for his defense, which I guess you can kind of excuse, but he's getting better at it, right?
But for somebody like you, that's tough. That's tough for you to make a statement like that, man.
Yeah,
you don't forgive a lot of guys.
I don't.
Especially when you hold them to a certain standard.
I don't.
Tyler Herro, we do. And no knock on him. Well, this is not a Tyler Herro bashing session, but
right.
that definitely right there, man, that ability to be a two-way player, an elite two-way player, is not only what's going to elevate his status as one of the greats right now in the game, and also what's going to elevate this team from where we are right now to a contender, true contender.
Yeah.
Because, we love the minutes he gives us on offense, man, but We need to be able to get that also on defense.
For sure. And I feel like he's improved a little bit, right? Because if you look at his rebounding numbers, they've gone up. His steals have gone up this year. So he's active more,
He
right?
definitely has.
The only thing that I feel like he needs to be a better defender is a little bit more defensive muscle, a little bit more of that grit to run through screens, really bother some of those bigger defenders that may or may be in his way when he's chasing somebody around. You know what I mean? But that's the next level for him.
Sure.
And he looks like he's trending in that direction, because the main thing we questioned about Tyler Herro when he got here, or even when we gave him the extension, was, damn, is he going to be able to ball? Is he really a 20-point per game guy?
No.
Because
I'll disagree. I don't think that's what we said. What we said was,
in the playoffs,
can he do
it in the playoffs?
When it matters most? Because that's where he's been absent the last couple of years.
But even last year, he had his little ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? When Bam came back, Jimmy was out.
Sixth man of the year.
Man of the year.
He balled last year for us.
But look how he's responding as a starter. You know what I mean? Where you're relying on me day in, day out to bring you at least 20 points per game. You know what I mean? And he's doing the damn thing, dog. The guy's averaging, what's that? He's averaging 21.4, 6 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists while shooting 45% from the field goal. Man, really earning that check, How he'll continue to play into the playoffs, we have to make it to see. But everything that Tyler Herro is contributing on a game-by-game basis, it shows me that he's that next level star that we need to pair next to Bam. Because even in that game against the Nuggets, Bam had his way, dog. 22 points, hit 10 free throws, 6 of 14 from the field. Didn't have that many rebounds. He ended up with 7, but still being active offensively.
Solid numbers for Bam.
Solid, right? Not the greatest, but solid considering the opponent and having to go up against Jokic, who's a beast down there, right? And still being able to find the rhythm and to get to and even draw all those fouls to get to the free throw line, right? That just shows you you're active around the paint.
That's what I like most right now about his game, is the fact that he is doing that more. He's getting more aggressive, getting to the rim. Something I've always bitched about, frankly. And he's getting to the line more. I mean, that you look at the Heat and who our best player has been. And D Wade was an artist when it came to that, drawing the foul and getting to the line. Jimmy now, our best player, what does he do well?
Get to the free throw line,
Gets
baby.
to the line. So Bam, it's only fitting that he follows in that, not changing, not trying to play like D Wade or like Jimmy, but play your game, but understand where you can manipulate, the defense to draw them in for contact based on how you play. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And he's doing that more.
And get yourself the easy buckets, right? Like if you get 13, 14, 15 opportunities at the free throw line and you shoot 85%, 80%, that's an extra 12 points that you're getting every night. So you just got to go out there, add another 10 to 12 points, and now you're a 20 and 12 guy every single night, 22 and 12 guy every single night. And look, we saw that bounce back against that Utah Jazz game where Bam came out again even stronger. 11 of 17 from the field, including 10 of 13 from the free throw line, right? Ended up with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, had, a plus minus of 6, and ended up with 32 points. 32 points. Beast. That's the game that we look at Bam and we're like, yo, this guy's dangerous. Imagine when he does this in the playoffs. That's the shit that makes him dangerous.
Those 30-point games are big for him, bro.
Right? Because it just shows you that he can put it all together. And then you look at Tyler Herro right there next to him. Complimentary basketball. 10 of 20 from the field, 50%. Had a bad night shooting the 3, only made 3 from 11.
One of the biggest ones, though.
But exactly, one of the biggest ones, including the game winner. But he still hit 6 of 7 free throws, adding to his tally, right? Where he ends the game with 29.
How many did Bam have? How many free throws?
10 of 13. That's a great average for a big man, dog.
So, and then the other 20 points that he put up was, most of them was in the paint, but
all work.
Also, a couple of them were the mid-range.
Transition. Yeah.
A couple of mid-range shooters, right. Turn around, not seeing anything, just giving them space, pulling up, which is great. When you love to see Bam being able to get to the rim, get to the line, and then be comfortable enough to take those, mid-range shots, really. He's not taking the long-range shots. He's taking the 12-footers, 10 to 12-footers. And he knocks those down easily.
And look, that was what we kind of talked about when we were like, damn, bro, especially in the playoffs, like, Bam, you need to take that shot because they're giving it to you. And he was hesitant to take the shot. And it's like, yo, Bam, you need to take that shot.
Get the ball down, get to the rim, or shoot it.
Something. And he was hesitant. Now, it's the complete opposite of that. It's like he gets the ball, and almost everybody knows that they're not probably getting that ball back unless it's the first pass of the set. You know what I mean? And then he's like, all right, I'll work it because I'm going to see that ball in about 2 seconds. Bam has really been stepping up. exceeding expectations. Everybody had real high expectations for this dude. This dude is exceeding expectations because even on nights like this, right, against the Utah Jazz where Jimmy was out because he's not playing back to back anymore, or he wasn't playing back to back for the Heat, even though he just got cleared medically to start playing back to back. We don't have another one until like mid-February. So we're going to get to see this trio really line up and face opponents consistently and see if this kind of turns into a spark that may push the Heat even farther up in the standings. Because right now, we're 19 and 18. We're currently 8th in the East. But we know that we can be competing for more than this, right? Like, we're not too far out. And while things may not be the greatest, if this team can continue to surround itself around the great play of Bam, Herro, add in some Jimmy, if Kyle Lowry can continue to be consistent, right? Don't need him to be
Kyle's
great.
Another one that we got to give him his kudos, man, because he has been playing not to the caliber again still that we want or would like him to be playing, but he's playing much better than he was last season.
Yeah, for sure. And look, he's averaging 13 points on the season, almost 14 points on the season. And he had a bad game against the Jazz, but in that Nuggets game, he played really well. And like we've spoken about, I don't need him to be the man, but show up. Be consistent. Make sure that you're felt. You know what I mean? Don't make it seem like you disappeared in that score sheet, which is what he did on that Jazz game. Made it a little bit closer than what it should be, but it's fine because sometimes you have to rely on your big dogs, which is Tyler and Bam. And even Tyler hitting that shot, one-legged runner. That just shows you how confident that dude is right now, dog. His in his mind, he is the top dog on the team. Which is great. You want Bam to think that. You want Tyler to think that. You want Jimmy to have that in their mind, right? Because then when it comes to clutch time, you feel much more confident in those guys doing their thing.
And they feel more confident in themselves to do that.
But I said all of that to emphasize this needs to turn into wins. This effort means shit without wins and consistent wins. They need to start to pull off, like I said, those winning streaks where it's a 3-game winning streak, 4-game winning streak, a 5-game winning streak. Let's see them put that together because that's what really is going to show us, right, as fans that, all right, these guys are getting healthier. The chemistry is starting to build and they're starting to achieve some type of cohesiveness heading into the second half of the season because we saw Victor Oladipo play well. We saw a lot of guys contribute, right? Highsmith and even Gabe Vincent since he came back. But we need to see a consistency and in the form of wins. This West Coast trip is not going to be easy, right? You got the Clippers tonight while we're recording, and then you got another game right after that where you're playing the Lakers, and then you finish off the road trip against Phoenix. Not necessarily tough-ass teams, right? Because you can beat LA Clippers, you can beat the Lakers. That Phoenix team is going to be a real measuring stick for you. But if you head into that Phoenix stick after winning 2 games, 3 games in a row, now you feel a little bit more confident. And even if you lose that game, you're like, damn, we had it. Still went 4-2 on our road trip. Take it. That's how you build success in the East. That's how you build success in an NBA. That's what we need to see from the Heat, which is what we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of inconsistency.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to point to the injuries and this, that, and the other. Cool. But now's the time that everybody's playing well, so you can't say, oh, this guy's playing bad. No, everybody's playing all right, and they're doing their roles. Let's see that progress into wins and into consistent wins. That West Coast trip should set us up nicely for next week, man, because then we got another 4 straight home games, against some good opponents, Brooklyn, OKC, and then we got back-to-backs against Milwaukee. But it should leave us in a position where we're kind of moving up the Eastern standings,
So Brooklyn, if KD's playing, and Kyrie's playing, that's something to, look out for. Always a tough battle.
Yep.
OKC
should be winnable, but they're tough.
I don't know.
They got a great shooter in SGA.
Yeah. Alexander Gilchrist or whatever.
That guy.
Yeah, I guess. But the more worrisome thing is we got to face Milwaukee back to back.
Yeah, but you got to get through the West Coast road trip, and even that Brooklyn game, right? Like if you feel that you were successful on that West Coast road trip, you have a lot more confidence coming home to face a Brooklyn team and say, all right, we can beat these guys. Because Brooklyn's number 1 right now or number 2 in the East. Really good team, just as good as Boston almost, right? Go out there and beat them. The only way you can go out there and beat them is having momentum. How do you get momentum? You finish that road trip that's not that hard at this point and finish strong. Beat the 2 LA teams. You don't even have to travel. You should be well rested. Everybody should know the game plan. We should be ready to go. Jimmy's coming back. Like, let's get some wins. You know, we win these 2 games against the 2 LA teams and get 3 in a row. I really see us winning 6 games. Because at that point, it's all about momentum and us really having confidence in ourselves. And Jimmy being available. Bam continues to do his thing. Herro continues to do his thing. But they need the wins. Can't just be, give me all this good effort and lose. Win the fourth quarters. Don't let shit slide anymore.
We got to win the fourth.
Got to win the fourth. Got to win the fourth.
I should have having a good opening half and, we played good and stats look all right, but we didn't get the dub. That shit gets old quick, bro. Especially when we're sitting in the 8th. I mean, that's not what we've seen from this Heat team.
Absolutely
There's no
not.
reason why we shouldn't be a top 5 seed or better.
Absolutely. And again, I'm saying it to burn these guys, and I'm going to burn them, but it's because I know that, or we all know that they have the talent enough to be, playing much better. Shouldn't be one of those teams that is like, man, we suck that bad. We don't know. Nah, the Heat aren't that. When you look at their roster and what we have and who's playing well and the numbers, that we're not that. We should be way better than what we are right now.
For sure.
Got to get these 2 wins.
Yeah, these are going to be 2 big ones.
Stay up tonight. Watch that Clippers game and watch the game against the Lakers so you can see us beat LeBron.
That's going to be tough, but
stay up, dog. Take a nap during the day and do your thing.
Tomorrow, I mean, I guess I could try.
You can do it. It's possible. We gotta talk about the Panthers right now, man. And I almost wore a Panthers shirt today, right? I didn't.
I see that.
I almost wore the Panthers shirt, but I was like, nah. They gotta earn it. They gotta earn it because
I was gonna wear my Panthers hat to the golf and I didn't.
You see, because when you look at it, they've lost what 5 out of the last 6, and then when you look at it, the last 9 games, they've lost 6 out of their last 9. Like,
that's atrocious.
That's not the Panthers team hockey that we've seen here, bro.
Hell no.
And I might have lost for words, but I really think it all has to do with the coach, dog. His attitude has really been shitty. The way that he speaks to the media, the emphasis that he's putting out there, it just doesn't feel like this team is behind him, dog.
How long do you think they give him?
I think he gets to the end of the year. Because this team is talented.
End of the season, really?
Yeah. Because this team is
get him out of there before that.
Homie, this team is way too talented. Way too talented. They brought him in here because he had the pedigree, he had the experience, he had the you know what I mean, the quote unquote know-how to take this team to the next level. And if anything, all we've seen is a regression with this team, which is crazy to say that when you have a couple of the best players in the NHL, including Carter Verhaeghe and Matthew Tkachuk. That's wild. Matthew Tkachuk has 43 points on the team. Verhaeghe's right behind him with 31, leading the team in goals with 18. Like, this is not a team that is lacking anything except for defense. Whatever it is that's going on defensively with the schemes, it is not working because the Panthers are one of the bottom teams when it comes to allowing goals. One of the bottom teams. And that's, again, very unlike Florida Panthers hockey that we've been accustomed to seeing over the last 5 years.
For sure. Over the last 5. Right? Yeah. I mean, I would say definitely the last 3 years, but yeah, I mean, even a little bit before then, you can say we've been better than what we're playing right now. I mean, to lose 5 out of the last 6, so that's devastating, bro. I
mean, again, bro, you look at when you're looking at how we're losing is what kills you. We got shut out the other day. That hasn't happened in over a year and a half. 4-0 when we lost. 4-0. That hadn't happened when we lost to the Carolina Hurricanes.
Did we not have Verhaeghe or Tkachuk or
everybody's been healthy and everybody's been playing, bro. Nobody's really missing that's like hurting
we
us.
Played without hockey sticks that game. Is that what happened?
Only the goalie didn't have a hockey stick. He was using his bare teeth, which is not uncommon for hockey players to use their teeth to block hockey pucks. But for real, man, these are things that were not supposed to happen, and the only thing that you can point to as a big time change, besides the Matthew Tkachuk trade, is the change in coach. I said it earlier. I don't know if these guys really want to play for this dude. I don't know if they have the fire and belief in this coach because they were used to whoever else was getting the best out of them. Maybe his style doesn't work. Maybe his style is too aggressive. It's too abrasive. I don't know. but the talent is there on this team. It's not like we're hurt and we've lost guys for 3 months and 2 months. This guy was out for, coño, we lost Spencer Knight for 12 weeks. None of that has happened, dog. The guys have been rotating in and out. Big Bob has given up goals. Spencer Knight has given up goals. Bro, we've given up 131 goals this year.
That's way too many goals.
What? And we've only scored 124. So, again, the defensive principles that's happening on this team are not working. Defense is pretty much the same. Joel, nothing has really changed on the defense, right? What the hell is happening with these Panthers? And if they don't fix it quickly, they're going to find themselves out of the playoffs completely. You know, being 16, 18, and 4 on the season, below 500, again, losing 3 out of your last 5 or 4 out of your last 6, that's not the way to be heading if you're a Panthers fan. Maybe this team needs a trade. Maybe they need a spark. Somebody needs to get benched, suspended. I don't know. A big fight needs to happen. Maybe we need to kill some more rats. Something needs to happen to galvanize this team, dog, because at the moment they have nothing, dog, and they've only been holding it together by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I can't really say we need to make a trade for somebody or something, because we've seen this pretty much same unit, same team do much better than it's doing right now, and this is not how we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, where are we standing right now, dog?
Right now, we're in the second to last spot in the East, right ahead Montreal. So we're in the 4, 5, 6, 7 spot.
Yikes!
Under 500, 16 and 18, and bruh. There's not too many teams that are far from us, dog. You know what I mean? When it comes to that, there are not too many teams far from us. And that's in the Atlantic. So even worse as it stands right now, like, Panthers are pretty much out of the playoffs. If you think about it. If the season ended today.
If it ended today, yeah.
Out of the playoffs. Who would you blame for that? The GM who just made a bunch of moves to get the guys here? Or the coach that he hired?
Yeah. I'm definitely going with the coach.
Definitely going with the coach. And for me, again, for us, right? Because you and I are not Panther hardcore, born and bred. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people out there that do that. Tomorrow's game against Phoenix is huge at home because we don't have the greatest of home records. We're 9-6, barely above 500 there. We need a win in the worst way to stop the skid. Like, there's a lot of pressure on this game because you're facing an Arizona team who's not good. They're worse than you are. You know, they're 13-17 on the season. You're going to let these guys come in here and beat you on your home ice? I don't know.
Can't lose to those under 500 teams.
No. And the road is going to...
What's their mascot?
Who? The Coyotes.
Coyotes.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's fitting.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's see what this Panthers team has, in store. Because, like I said,
they didn't end 2022 off great.
Nope.
So they need to start off 2023 with a bang.
Yep. A terrible December for them, man. Terrible December. Way more losses than wins. Terrible December.
I mean, we as a sports town had a really bad month of December.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just the Panthers.
And let me tell you, for the Panthers, it's not going to get any easier because that home game tomorrow or tonight, by the time you guys are listening to this, is their last home game before they hit the road, 4th Street, against some top teams in the West. You got them visiting Detroit. You got them visiting Dallas, Colorado, Vegas. Tough teams. Tough teams. And the Panthers are terrible on the road. Not good.
Not good at all.
Not good. Let's see what happens. I guess we got to talk about the only real bright spot right now when it comes to, South Florida sports or athletics. And that's the Miami Hurricanes basketball team, baby.
Crazy, dog.
The U, baby. We back.
March Madness,
we
baby.
Back.
March Madness is right around the corner.
It is, dog. And you know what? It's great, dog. You know how much I love Coach L, man. You know how much I love that dude, dog.
Yep.
And he's such a good guy, such a class act. What a great coach. And for him to continuously to build up this program, find guys in the portal, get guys to commit here. Because he's not a young, flashy coach. And then he's not selling these kids dreams and all that shit. He's like, you want to come to UM, play basketball in Miami, and get really far and beat some teams in the ACC? Come rock with your boy. You know what I mean? And that's what he does, bro. And he finds ways to get players down here.
Well,
these guys are having an amazing season. 13-1, ranked 12th so far in the season.
That's coming off of a really good season last year.
Yes,
where
sir.
they made it, I think, to the Sweet 16.
Yes,
in the
sir.
Final Four. So, I mean, this is really, really good to see this Hurricane team performing this way right now, getting some big wins.
Yeah, that game against Notre Dame was huge, and they won that game quite decisively, bro. You know, and even their best player Isaiah Wong didn't have his greatest of games that game, but he's still averaging 17 on the season, leading the team in points and assists with 4.5. And they got the legend from Nicaragua, Norchard Omeyer, who's from.
Who is that?
I just said his name, bro.
I know, but who is that? The legend from Nicaragua?
Well, he's a big center that they got in the transfer portal. This kid's a giant from the blue fields of Nicaragua. Shout out to my dog Frisco. And this kid has been beasting, really holding it down, especially defensively. Leading the team in rebounds with 9.5 per game. So this kid's a big block out there, which just makes it easier for the team to rely on knocking down shots because they know that this dude is working hard to get the rebounds.
Hell yeah.
Especially, people don't really pay attention to college basketball until it gets into March Madness.
I'm one of them.
Right. But with this Hurricanes team, it really pays to pay attention because they're getting into ACC play now. And that's why they really start to face some tough opponents. The Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Louisvilles, Clemsons, Virginia Tech, Florida State, all of those teams that are within their conference and in their division. And those are real tough games because a lot of those kids are recruited by the same schools and they end up going here and there and then they end up going somewhere else through the portal. Coach L has always really dominated the ACC or ACC play, right? He's got huge wins against North Carolina. When Coach K, Dean Smith, not Dean Smith, what's this other dude? Rory Williams was there. Big wins there. Beat Coach K a bunch of times, right? While he was at Duke with Hurricane teams. This dude knows how to navigate the ACC. If he can do that yet again this season, he can find himself being in the top 5, top 6 ranked nationally heading into the tournament, which only means that you're getting much better seeding, you know what I mean, to make a real a run into that tournament. This could be a real potential historic season for the Hurricanes basketball team, which is crazy to say coming off of a historic basketball season for this Hurricanes team.
Yeah, but I think the seeding, I mean, that's great. Yeah, definitely, because it gives you the respect. It definitely gives you that notoriety, like, oh, they were ranked number 1, number 2. They were a 1 seed, a 2 seed, 3 seed, whatever the case may be this year. But the seeding don't matter in March Madness. It's how you bring
matters.
it. And last year, Coach L, man, he showed them boys know how to bring it, man, against some good opponents that they're able to put it together, wire to wire victories, man. Just real fundamental basketball. That's what I love seeing about college basketball. Is like it's not like the NBA where like you got a lot of these prima donnas and stuff like that, and it's a little bit it's a little different. Like you see a little bit more fundamental, more technical stuff, and that's what I'm looking forward to, man. I want to watch one of these games pretty soon. Hopefully, one of these ACC big opponents we got.
You know what?
Be a good one.
We have something planned for the next time they're at home, but we may be able to sneak one in when you get back from your trip. I'll show you and we'll talk about it.
All right, we'll check it out.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll go out there for a game. Love that place, man. Let's wrap this thing up, doggy. But you know what? Before we do, I got to make a big shout out to the 2 teams that made the college football national championship game. Number 3, Ohio State got beat by Georgia, or beat up Georgia, and number 4, TCU with the big upset against Michigan, man. We both wanted TCU to win, right?
Yep, and they won.
Which was really good to see.
Michigan's a bunch of choke artists. And Ohio State.
Hardball. It's hardball, dog. You can't win the big one.
And Ohio State lost because they're a bunch of choke artists.
That was a harder loss, though, dog.
That one was rough, man. On a walk-off field goal, at midnight to start the year.
Yeah,
that's how you lose.
Georgia survives, and Hackett played bad for Georgia. Kid played real bad for somebody. That? He's the quarterback for Georgia. Had a terrible game.
His name's not Hackett.
It's something with a B.
Yeah, I can't remember it. Whatever. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, man. Whatever. He had a really rough game, and you could tell that he felt the world pressure get off of him because when that kid missed that kick, that quarterback could not stop crying. He was like, thank you for the opportunity.
Stetson Bennett.
You see something with a B.
Some white boy. The 4th, I think, too.
Bruh.
White-ass name.
And again, he played like dog shit. And his defense bailed him out. And you know what? We have to give a shout out to the quarterback too for Ohio State because that kid balled out. He balled out, man. Number 7. I forget his name, man.
Yeah, they were both good games, but now we got a national championship. TCU, Georgia. I don't think Georgia's losing this game.
Nah, it's going to be hard to see those guys play bad games back to back like that, right? Because now they have 2 weeks before they play and plenty of time to get things corrected, get kids healthy. So let's see. If I had to pick an early favorite, which we'll do official, if I had to pick an early favorite, I'm sure that Georgia would be favored by probably like less than a touchdown, if not a touchdown.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
Bro, but start of the year, it's going to start coming quick, so we got to we got to stay on top of it because guess what else is starting back up right now?
What's starting back up?
PGA season.
Yes, sir. And we got a lot more golf content coming y'all way.
So we got to get ready for that. They're going to be in the West Coast swing out in Hawaii and shit. They're going to have some primetime golf, some golf late at night. This is some of the best golf to watch. It's like Friday at 8 o'clock at night that you're watching golf instead of during the day.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah, bro. Me too, man. I feel like 2023 is going to be a jam-packed year for us, bro. We got the interview this Saturday, potential another interview next week. Got the There Will Be Blood, Bad Blade Davis event on next Saturday. A lot of stuff going on, bro.
A lot of stuff. So we got to stay on top of it for y'all. But
absolutely, man.
Appreciate you guys tuning in as always.
Absolutely. And make sure you guys continue to support us on our way to 500 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit a like on our latest videos, and drop a comment. And if you already subscribed, get your mama's phone, get your daddy's phone, get your baby mama's brother's sister's phone, and hit that subscribe button on their YouTube. And then help us boost the viewers because we want to continue to bring you this content, which is amazing because nobody else is bringing it to you in South Florida.
And if you did all that stuff already, then go ahead and tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell another friend.
To tell one more friend about this amazing podcast. You guys know what to do. Make sure to follow us on social media. And until next time, peace.